Hey there, Junkyards! Welcome to another show. Tonight I have a special guest for the Junkyard here at Metal Messiah Radio. It's Tomislav from the band Defiant, and this band is from Croatia, and now they are promoting their new released album Insurrection Icon. So, welcome Tomislav, and welcome to Metal Messiah Radio.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Just to start, can you please tell us a little bit about the band and introduce the members of your band?
Alright, currently Chris is on the guitars, Mislav is on bass, in Piper, it's on drums, and I'm on vocals and lyrics.
How you started to get into the metal scene and music?
That was very long time ago. It's about 15 years, I think. And when I started to listen to this kind of music, I had no idea there was any other metalheads around me. You know, it's kind of was pretty much a single thing. You know, I was pretty much rebelling after anyone. You know, so I remember my old man remembers that I was about 5 years ago. I was actually 5 years old, and they put on Guns N' Roses on vinyl, and my dad said that I went batshit insane. I was starting to smash things, you know, and from that I kind of started in rock and metal, and today I pretty much listen to everything, but it is in majority, you know, metal, thrash metal, black metal, death metal, you know. So, and you know, like every guy wants to have a band, so I started to do some bands, you know, gigs and all that, and I got into Defiant. So yeah.
Do you still remember your first gig?
That's an interesting story. And back in 2006, I saw Defiant for the first time with as a support act for Vader. That was in Osijek. That's a city bigger than Slavonski Brod, which where I live. And I picked up Defiant's CD.
Nice.
I was very much impressed with the band, and I kind of became a fan. And I gave it that CD to a friend who played the guitar. And a year later, we formed our first band, Reign Chaos, which pretty much was inspired by Defiant and some other melodic death metal bands. And I remember my first gig, it was in the capital city of Croatia, Zagreb, and the only thing that I remember now that it was some big hole on the stage, and during the whole performance, I was looking at that hole and talking to myself, don't trip over it. So that was my first memory, like hazardous, you know, like don't run around, you're gonna trip, you're gonna fall, you're gonna break your neck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. It's always a good memory when you go to your first gig. We were talking that you also have another project. You started first this band just before joining Defiant?
Yeah. It's kind of strange. I kind of switched from one band to another band at some points, but first I was in a band called Chemical Exposure before joining Defiant, but I'm still in Chemical Exposure. You know, it's more of a thrash metal, Tampa Bay, old school metal band. You know, we have a lot of influences from early material, like from DSI, The Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel. You know, that's thin line between death and thrash metal. You know, we kind of aiming for that, and it's a cool band. You know, Chris organized some gigs for us before I joined Defiant. You know, so I kind of Chris even before joining the band. his band actually. So it's a small community in a way. So everybody knew each other. So we had one guy for gigs, we had another guy for promotion, and all that, and we kind of all got connected. So Chris, just after some gig, I think it was kind of Exposure or another band, he kind of called me out of blue and kind of asked me, do you want to be the vocalist for Defiant? I was like fuck yeah, I'm your fan for 10 years. Like, really? Like, yeah. I was waiting for this call, So yeah, I never asked for it. So yeah, all the whole vocalist thing was an accident. Before that I played guitar. So even before Rain Chaos, I had some band that actually never fully formed. I was playing guitar and that guy was playing guitar, but he was a bit of an asshole and a perfectionist. He was like, you're playing it wrong, like fuck you, I'm playing it right, So he kind of asked me, well, do you want to sing? Like, I can try, So we did some Annihilator stuff, Alice in Hell, King of the Kill, and it was not that much of a hard thing to do, to sing Jeff Waters, So it's like, you're doing good. They're like, really? Yeah, you're good. So, okay then. After that day, I dropped the guitar and started singing, because it was an easier job, as simple as that, And there's not much singers out there, I think, so.
More personal question. What do you do beside singing in Defiant?
I work in a city library. Besides being in bands and doing those stuff, I work in a city library as a librarian. So that's a scene, you see old grannies taking some books and all that, and they see a metalhead, in a black shirt, black trousers, and everything, and boots. They're like, yes, mister, do you want something, to read? So it's always fun to work there. And besides that, I work also as a reporter, as a journalist for few metal sites, doing reviews. So yeah.
Okay.
Besides that, I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff, so I'm quite busy.
Have you noticed an evolution in the band during all this year to this new album?
Yeah, definitely the band has changed. The members have changed, and so the sound has changed. The Defiant's first album, End of Beginning, was pretty much a melodic death metal album, which more like was in vein of like In Flames, Dark Tranquility, stuff like that. And the band kind of changed members and became more aggressive, and more dark, more sinister, So, well, I think the Insurrection Icon, in a way, it's a combination of all those previous efforts. It kind of has melodies, but it's far more aggressive than the last album, which is called Multi Spiritual Illness. The band had definitely involved. Either way, that was my idea. I was like more of a. I'm still kind of fan of Defiant, so the whole writing process in my eyes was like, what do I want from this band to be, in 2018, So the whole concept was like, I want to write the best album that Defiant ever done so far, So yeah.
Nice. And do you still play the old tracks, or only you are focusing in playing the new material?
So far, we are kind of 50-50 with the Morbid Spiritual Illness and with Insurrection Icon because those two albums kind of connect in a way stylistically. But while this album is actually more mature, but still we do not shy away from older tracks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be more of Insurrection Icon, and maybe we're going to add some even older tracks, but more revamped, more aggressive versions of those old tracks. But time will tell, you know. But I'm open to everything, you know. But of course, we are promoting new albums, so the main focus is on that.
Okay, and during the composition of the lyrics, music, and the art covering, how is the way of working of Defiant?
We kind of traditional, you know. Chris starts with the riff and sends to everyone, and everyone kind of has his own idea. So we kind of work on the skeleton of that songs while I'm writing the lyrics. And sometimes the lyrics came first, you know. So I kind of see which song fits better, you know. It's like a naming an animal, you know. So if the skeleton of the song is more aggressive, you know, we kind of name it more. The concept, the lyrics for that song is going to be more aggressive. But if the song is maybe more progressive or more thoughtful or more here this or that, you know, more slow parts, you're going to name it differently, you know. So it's the main thing is that the lyrics and the music became one, you know, that they fit. Meant to be this way, you know, and sometimes magic happens, you know. Songs like Hymn to Uncreation was pretty much done in 5 minutes. It's my favorite song in the album. Is the last track of the album. I think it's the darkest song that we ever done, and was done in 5 minutes. So sometimes just magic happens and you can't explain it, but it fits like a damn glove, you know. But sometimes we do songs that for months, you know. The other track, Insurrection Icon, I think we have about 4 versions of that song.
Wow.
Because we mercilessly let's try this, let's try that, you know. I think I write about 5 versions of the main of the main track.
Wow.
Of the album, because it never was perfect, you know.
Yes.
So we have sometimes, you know, we done a track in 5 minutes, and sometimes we do a track in 5 months, you know. So it depends, you know.
Yes, it's just like kind of normal, until you find like the perfect match between the lyric and the music.
Yeah, and it's never like three of us are happy with the song, and the fourth guy like, can we try this? Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a group thing, you know.
Do you guys talk before doing the composition of music, like, okay, this new album we want to talk about this topic, or it just like flows naturally?
On the lyrics, I pretty much have a free reign, you know, but even before Chris asked me to join the band, he knew what I was capable of, and I pretty much, as I told, I work as a journalist for music portals, and that I did a review for the last Defiant album, you know, so I pretty much was aware of what they are singing about, and I kind of, and I always talk to Chris about concept ideas and all that. He was very pleased with my ideas. So in a way, from Morbid Spiritual Illness to Insurrection Icon, it's just a continuation of our concept ideas and lyrics, but in a more different way. You know, it's more of a mature way of thinking, you know. And on the lyrics and concepts, it's never like we are like talking to the audience like we are right or something like that. It's more of a thought thought-provoking stuff, just to think for yourself, try thinking by your own mind, So it's never like, this is the way to go, So it's more like, wow, what's this all about, So it's all the lyrics that I have done for Defiant was a bit so direct, but in another way it's more abstract, like the cover for the album. It's most people say, well, that looks like a devil, but I say like maybe not, because it can be direct, but another way it can be abstract as well. So it's pretty much up to you, and I think that every person is individual and can make a mind of its own, so that's the idea.
And if you can give a review of this new album, what would you say about your new album?
It hopefully sucks. No, it's I just actually I was asked to do it in joke for one metal site. My boss from Antichrist magazine, that's an Ukrainian metal site I write reviews for. He kind of sent me a message like, "I got your new album. Will you review it?" Like, fuck no. It's no. It's I'm very self-critical, So better not ask me for it, because I will find some mistakes that maybe don't exist. I'll say, that's a fuck up. That's a fuck up. That's a fuck up. So better ask me for it, because
Yeah, probably it's very hard. Like
it's a kind of a motherfucker to be, in a music critique and being in a band. So it's kind of it's strange sometimes, to read reviews about your new album and write reviews for some bands that you actually like, So it's kind of that's as I know, not a lot of people are these days. Either people are journalists, music journalists, or they're in bands.
yeah.
Not a lot of people are in both. But I love this stuff, so I kind of always find time. To most people that I knew actually are very surprised that I have such times for this stuff. But I love it. So.
And you already have reviews of this new album, yeah?
Yeah, just before the interview, I read the new the first review for the album. It's very appalling, to say the least. The review is quite positive. It's
Nice.
written by our major Croatian metal site, Perun, and it's very positive. I was quite surprised, to be very honest. So yeah.
Getting more into the Croatian metal scene, how
Yeah.
is it?
I mean, like in Eastern Europe, like the rest of the countries, preferably in the Balkans, we don't have a label. We don't have that much support, So we kind of figure it out for ourselves and improvise and kind of tend to survive, So metalheads are good here. I really can't bullshit about it. But in some regions from Croatia, it's kind of strange, some regions in Croatia are, I call them keyboard warriors. They bitch about, lack of metal gigs, and all that, yada yada. And when we organize a metal gig from our own pocket money, and all that, they still bitch about it. Like, oh, we don't have the money to pay the ticket. Like, Jesus Christ, So it's somewhere it's kind of hard to be a metal band, because I mean, every guy who has a serious metal act can say this is the most expensive music to play and the least income you get from it. So you really have to love this stuff, you know. And in a way, it is a hobby, you know. And a hobby, of course, you know, that costs money. But in another way, Croatia is pretty much blooming, considering the Melo Festival. So we have a Melo Festival called Valhalla in Zagreb, which is our capital city, and we have the other two Melo Fests are in Pula, in Istria, and Dark Circle Fest, which is in Rijeka, which is pretty much, in my eyes, is the metal capital in Croatia. The metal scene there is fucking great. The audience is awesome, really awesome. I played there twice at Chemical Exposure, and it was fucking insane. And this year, Defiant is gonna play in Dark Circle Metal Fest in Rijeka, and I'm very happy for it. I'm very looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yeah, so, you know, like, I think it's the same for every other country, you know. Some part of the country is not that big on metal. It's kind of strange to organize to play there, and some regions are awesome to play there, you know, so depends.
While playing in Defiant, do you have a good memory or a funny memory about?
In Defiant you kind of got in all that touring stuff, so it's always the same. Every day it's kind of a new story to tell, you know, like we almost got drowned in Hungary in the fucking car, yeah. We were playing a gig in what was the name, in Dunajváros in Hungary, and of course after the gig we got pissed drunk, like always, because we got free booze and all that, and we knew we got drunk because we knew we have a place to sleep, you know. And the day after we are going to Slovakia to play at Loud Farm Fest, and we're like, okay, we play this gig as a warm up, and then we're gonna go to this festival. All right then. And we kind of got out about 3 a.m. and our driver was kind of the least drunk, and we, all right, let's go to this place. And this place was kind of some of a camping site or something similar. I have no idea. And we were going out of Dunajváros. It was pitch dark, you know, and luckily our driver had those long headlights from the car, yeah. And we saw pretty much nothing. It was like a horror movie. And I remember we turned a straight right, and we going through down, and we almost got in the Lake Drava.
Wow.
If our driver didn't have the headlights, I think that we will still be in that fucking lake. So, to our surprise, actually, we realized that the GPS didn't make the update that part of, you know, Hungary is overflowed. So we were kind of sitting in that car for 5 minutes, got sober in a fucking second, and we're like, all right, where to now? And our driver had a best idea ever. Like, we're going straight to Slovakia. And Slovakia, in that part of the festival, is about almost to the border of Ukraine. So we traveled by car for about 15 hours straight.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, wow.
it was insane. So that was insane, and the other story on the gig was kind of cool. We played once in I think it was in Zalo. That's a city in Romania. During the last song, the crowd got on the stage and picked me up and started lifting me up. So that was very cool. That was very cool. That was very unexpected. I remember Chris telling me like he was focusing on his guitar playing, and he lifted his head up and realized, where the fuck is Tom? Where is? He's up there. Nice. Okay. So that gig was very cool. Yeah.
Nice. I think if I think it will be cool if a band can record or do something about all these good memories they always live.
We have.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some videos in the Defiant webpage in Facebook,
Yeah.
just like a drinking contest. I don't know. I really don't.
Pretty
don't
much
understand.
our bass player Mislav, it's a fucking winner. He always when we do beer shots, with
Yeah.
other guys from other countries like Romania, Slovakia, whatever, Hungary, he's always our guy. Let's do beer shots. Like if the guy from Romania does 10 beer shots, the guy our Mislav does 15 beer shots.
Wow.
So it's always fun to see him, but I don't do that. I pretty much I'm more of a coffee guy than
Oh,
anything
nice.
else because I have to sing. So
Mm.
alcohol doesn't help in singing. Trust me, especially if you do several gigs in a row. So you have to stay healthy. Because of your voice.
Yes.
But don't worry, the other three guys pretty much drink all for me. So yeah, I'm covered in that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that you have released this new album,
Mhm.
what will come to the band next? You have scheduled some gigs, some tours outside Croatia, or what you guys are expecting for this new album?
So far we did the only Croatia gig that we have so far in plan. It's Dark Circle, which will happen in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
The other festival will be in Czech Republic with Inferno and Massive Hammers. The festival is called Enter the Eternal Flame.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a tour, first part of the tour we're going to do in the next month, I think. It's going to cover mostly Romania and Bulgaria. That will be the first leg of the tour, but we are playing more as well because we want to promote this new album as much as we can, as much as possible, because we got a new label in our hands, which is very serious in this, so we want to make advantage of it as much as possible. We're not the guys who want to sit and wait for things that happen. We're gonna make things happen. So that's the plan so far. And Chris and I has already started to write new music as we speak, because we kind of got our niche about working together. So we want to start the new album as soon as possible as well. So we're kind of very busy.
Mm-hmm. So I really hope you guys decide to come someday to Mexico.
That'll be great.
Yes, here we have a big support mostly to death metal bands and black metal, and I think Defiant totally will kick ass in here. So
Thank you. Our new drummer, Pieper, played in a band called Warhead. So and they played in Mexico and South America quite a bit, and they always said that the Mexicans, are
we are crazy.
very passionate, very
Yes.
fucking passionate. Every band who played in your place says you're very passionate fans. And that's you have no idea how much that fuels the band to continue forward, because most of the time you have that idea that you're going against the grain in many things, because this is not a music for mainstream. This very underground music, and you pretty much have to take chances, mostly, in your private life, monetary, so any kind of support means the world to us. So yeah.
Nice. So I hope you guys have a perfect promoting way with Insurrection Icon, and that
Thank you very much.
everything you want, you make it, and that your album gets on to listen to more and more people. And I hope I can help in that, just like promoting it, and also like helping you guys to get to more listeners.
That means a lot. Thank you very much.
And almost to finish, where the people, the new listeners and the new fans can find your music, buy it, and where they can follow everything about you.
Mostly you can follow the band on our Facebook page, Defiant. The album can be available at Argate's Records websites for the physical version, or contact the band directly on our Facebook page or our Gmail, which is defiant.crow@gmail.com. On the digital, you can get us on Spotify, or you can get us on iTunes. These are pretty much everywhere, on the whole globe. So yeah, you can find our music by all means,
Okay.
and support the band.
You also have some merch, like t-shirts or something?
We are planning T-shirts. We are talking about printing our T-shirts as we speak.
Okay.
So they're going to be out very soon, I believe. We are just talking about the design of the shirts. So it's going to be very soon.
Okay, nice. So
Yeah.
I hope to get mine.
Yeah.
Yes. So just to finish this interview, anything you want to add to the Metal Messiah radio fans?
I'd like to take a regard for the fans of metal in general, and all the people who want to support Defiant in our music, and stay heavy.